Time for another edition of 6 Things We've Learned. Robbie Morris is back. Robbie, it's been a really big week of racing, so I thought we'd just pick 6 things that have happened in the last 7 days and have a little bit of a chat about them. And the first one we've got to talk about is Bow Tide after his scintillating performance tonight, 150.7, and James Rattray got aggressive at the start and he blew him off the park. Yeah,
he drove him like the best horse, which is sort of, James is always a bit conservative, always early in the preparation, but today he came out and said, no, my horse was right, and made a statement for the Len Smith next week. I don't care what turns up, I can't see him getting beat.
There is some talk Arden Rooney, who won the Mildura Cup on Saturday night, will be coming. I don't think there's a horse in the Southern Hemisphere that can compete with him.
It's a really good horse, Arden Rooney, and not taking anything away from him, but Bow Tide's just out of this ballpark.
I haven't seen James get that aggressive with Bow Tide at the start since Newcastle Mile, going back 18 months ago.
Well, it would be frustrating for James, I suppose, in a certain point. He's got a great horse, a superstar horse. And Sparv Stewie and that whole concept, they sort of don't give him the respect he probably deserves. And tonight he took it to him, and took it to him in a big way.
Well, he was very impressive, the champ, and he went through $2 million in prize money as well. So he was the first thing we learnt this week. He's back bigger and better than ever, and that Len Smith Mile looks his for the taking. What about our Waikiki Beach? We saw him here at Menangle on Tuesday. What did you make of him?
I really liked him. I really liked the way Mark sort of just knew the horse he had underneath him. He sort of straightened up, and if you watch the replay closely, he was getting over the top of Luke's wheel. He was sort of hanging and doing a few things wrong, and Mark just gently reached down like he does. He drives him very calm, cool, and pulled the plugs. And as soon as he pulled the plugs and just gave his right rein a bit of a tug, geez, he straightened up like a really good horse. It just looks like another one of Mark Purdon's that looks like being anything.
I spoke with Mark about the horse before the race on Tuesday, and he said he's won in New Zealand impressively, but he hasn't run time.
Yeah.
And even on Tuesday, he didn't have to run time. I guess that's the only thing missing from his arsenal.
You just got to look at him. He's just an outstanding individual to look at, and that goes a long way. You look at him and say, that horse is a star, and no one could argue with you. He's just got that sort of vibe around him.
As a typical media person, I said, rate him against 5 stars from 12 months for a couple of years, and he wouldn't.
No.
So he said, "Look, I'm not going to put them in the same breath." So that's what he had to say about that. But look, it's exciting. You know, Mark sending these horses over for the APG. We've spoken about it a lot in the past. The change business model with the Purdon camp, and they are really doing well, targeting those rich feature races for the babies. What about the New South Wales trained fillies' performances in the Victoria Oaks heats? Really good effort. Read about Lexi.
Oh.
Super.
I just love watching her race. She just gets her head down and she just bulldogs away in there and just keeps trucking. And it's really good to see Bernie Hewitt. He works, like I was talking to Bernie the other day when Bathurst Carnival was on, and he breaks all his own in, and he sort of buys 8 and 9 from the sales of Bathurst and works a big team of 30, 35 horses, plus breaks in 10 or 12 at the same time. He deserves everything he gets. Such a hard-working family, and it's just really good for everyone involved.
Yeah, barrier draw will be crucial there. She's had the luxury of a good draw in her last 2 feature races, or in the heat of the Oaks, and then the bracelet before that at Bathurst. I think on a second row draw against Makes Every Sense, if she was to draw the front row,
it was a massive run.
Oh, huge!
Like she locked wheels going, getting to the breeze, which cost her probably getting there 200 metres earlier. No, and I don't think it changes the result at all. But she was massive, Makes Every Sense. So. Just goes to show we've got a really good, strong bunch of 3-year-old fillies.
Delightful Anna now with Pete Walsh.
Peter Walsh, yeah. No, I know Walsh. He's worked here and he's had a good opinion of her. And I think that run will do her the world of good. Whatever she done last night, she'll be lengths better for. And
Dexter Dunn coming over to take the drive apparently with her. And while we're speaking about the 3-year-old fillies, Luke McCarthy had a night out at Melton. We've mentioned the fact that he drove Delightful Lana, Makes Every Sense finished second, Whiter Shade of Pale was third, got her through to the Victoria Oaks, and the Hour Over and Over was a winner at the trot. Nike Franco, he drove that as well. So Luke had a real night out, and he's had a really good night tonight at Menangle. He's just going from strength to strength.
He always turns up when the big races are on. He's just a good driver. Like his drive. And I know he qualified all them fillies for the Oaks, but his drive on Nike Franco summed the race up in the space of 50 yards. Caught them all sort of half having a bit of a doze down the back straight there, and it told the tale. He just turns up at the right time. Luke's a great driver.
Heats tonight at the Carousel. There have been 3 heats here at Menangle. We've had a couple of heats elsewhere. What did you make of them? Better Down Under, a mare who she can get a bee in a bonnet, but she, at the last 4, she's done everything right. Yeah. Mick Stanley's been driving her really well, and tonight she raced away from them and did it quite convincingly. She's got a little pony that travels everywhere with her to keep her calm. He was here tonight, Miles, and he will be back again on Carousel Final. The Carousel, always a great race, very hard race to win.
Yeah, it is. And I've got to say, out of all the heat winners, you could make a case for each of them winning. Like, you haven't had a blowout that, oh, well, it just got the right run. You know what I mean? There's the heat of Penrith where our horse won, Storm Monzar. He's a really nice horse and sort of come a long way fast. And then you got All Eyes on Us, look, beat 12 times tonight and just kept fighting and went 55 for 23. That mare looked really good. The mare sort of, she's a very good mare, but you could tell Mick was very calm, sort of never had her really on the gate. Sometimes when it comes to a carousel, horses that are like All Eyes on Us that are going to be banging into the position, you don't want them getting a head start on you. But it looks like her manners are getting better and better, and I think there's probably more heats next Saturday, so probably be 3 more heats next Saturday, and I think it's shaping up to be carousel that's just great every year.
Well, Fellas of Trouble got through for Ellen and Peter Rickson at Fairfield.
Yeah, drove it a treat.
She drove that really well, and Isaac was another heat winner tonight. Just a wrap there for Mickey Muscat. Really good training performance. Horse hadn't raced since August last year. First up, had 3 trials. Actually trialled around Delightful Lana and All Eyes on Us recently. So the trial form was really good. But it got out late and was able to dive bomb them. So good performance by it as well.
Yeah, Mick does a really good job with his team, and he sort of, he told me weeks ago he was targeting this race, and he's had the good trip, good bit of luck, and he had the horse primed to the minute, so it was good effort.
So they're the 6 things we've learnt this week. Just before we go, we have mentioned Bow Tie. Just a bit of news out of that race. Swav Stewie Lombo, after his performance, he goes to the paddock, according to Shane Tritton. But what about the run of He's a Thrill? Steve Turnbull has got that horse absolutely firing at the moment. Was brilliant in the young race behind Frith, the young cup, when it did so much work, and then has since been good at Bathurst. A race like the Len Smith Miles, Steve's got to be throwing the horse in now after a second to Bow Tie.
Well, what else you got to put him in?
Yeah.
Like, he's sort of got to put him in, and if he gets a good draw, like, and don't get me wrong, Bo did heaps of work, and he looks the winner of the Len Smith Mile. I can't see another horse better than him. But that horse draws 1. I've got no doubt he can run second to him again. Yeah. He was a long way off him today, and he sort of, like, James was never in doubt, but he made James look over his shoulder. He heard something coming, and he looks like he could be the next sort of Grand Circuit horse that can just come through the grade. So it's something to look forward to.
Good to see your hair done tonight, and well dressed, well done.
Yeah.
See what happens when you're not driving?
When I'm suspended, mate, I've got plenty of time to get ready.
6 things we've learnt here on Trots TV.